Good afternoon. I'm Everett, and this is my new science project video series. Well, not really. It's going to be doing something a little bit different with this next series. I'm going to be reviewing a Badger Model 200 detail airbrush, and I'm going to be combining this review with a sort of a video blog, so to speak. So because my well, you may be asking, well, you know, what are my qualifications for reviewing one of these things or working with an airbrush? And to be honest, absolutely nothing. I'm as green as a freshly mowed lawn when it comes to airbrushing. So this is going to be kind of a review and a video blog of my experiences with learning how to use an airbrush. And hopefully through this series, if you've been a little gun-shy about getting into airbrushing, this might inspire you to do so. As I learn, you can learn with me. I'd gotten an airbrush a while back at a model railroad show. It was a mistake. It was a cheapo one. I think I paid like $40 for the kit. Got a can of air, a regulator, a hose, and the airbrush, and a little jar for siphoning off the paint, and it never worked. And that was about 8 years ago. So, and I got this little beauty here. A guy named Ron Perret of a site called Scratch Builders Guild sent me an email, asked me if I would write some articles for a site on weathering and or any other topics I felt like writing, and then he asked me if I'd go ahead and review this airbrush. So he sent it to me, and that's when I decided, okay, you know, let me go ahead and make the plunge, you know, since I'm reviewing it, buy the rest of the equipment, and just go for it. So that's what this video series will be about. So I hope you enjoy it. I think I'm going to learn something, and hopefully you'll learn something too. And when I got this airbrush, I realized I was going to have to get some accessories to go with it, like the compressed air and the hoses and the paints and other sort of stuff like that. So oftentimes you can get buying airbrushes part of a kit. Now this particular model I've seen in kits, fairly simple kits, costing anywhere between $65 to $75 on the internet. But there's different kits out there with differing degrees of the stuff that they give you. You know, some kits include the air, some don't. Some kits, you know, include little paint cups, and others don't. So the prices that you'll see on the internet may vary. But you know, if you get a whole kit, you know, the task will be a little bit simpler, but you know, because you'll have everything there that you need. But if not, if you're doing piecemeal like me in this situation, well, of course, you first need your airbrush. Then you need some propellant, and for powering this thing, and this particular brand comes in two sizes, and I got the larger size. I think it was something like $10 for that. So let me widen the view out here so you can see what I got. Okay, I got the propellant here, got the airbrush. Next thing you need is going to need a regulator, and this screws onto the top of the can of air, and you'll see me do that as part of this video series. I'll get everything set up, and you can watch as I do it. So, got a regulator, and got this little quarter-ounce paint cup, and that fits on like here on the airbrush, so that's for painting in small batches. So that was like I think it was like about $6 for that, and some glass jars for holding paint, and that was maybe about $1.20. You could probably, you know, find plastic ones for cheaper too if you were trying to, you know, budget conscious. And one of these siphons that will fit into jars like these, so you can have if you have a lot of paint used fairly often, you can just fill a glass jar with paint and stick one of these things on, and then you can just attach it to your spray gun and be good to go. And of course these are all interchangeable. Clean them out, transfer them to another color if you want. These are fairly cheap too, like $2 or $3. And of course you're going to need some thinner for thinning down your paint. You don't want to use the paint straight from the jar because it's already pretty thick, and you want to thin it down some for use with an airbrush. So I believe it's like I'll have to review this. It's like a 3 parts paint to 1 part thinner to get the right consistency for an airbrush. I have to double check my facts, and if I'm wrong I'll correct myself, but well, you're definitely going to need some of that. So, and of course you're going to need some paints. These are some paints I got at the hobby store. I have some others on order. There's different brands around there. I know the brand that I hear the most often is the Floquil paints, and at least that's what I read about most often in articles. Oh yeah, I use Floquil for this, but there's other brands out there, and I couldn't tell you the virtues of one or the other, but I have some Floquil on order. This is Model Master. By the way, I've got a few of these, and my Floquils are coming in next week, so I'll probably get started on some projects next week in my next video set of videos. So anyway, that's it for supplies, and I can think of anything else during the course of this that I forgot. I'm sure there's things that I'll forget just because this is all pretty new to me, so I will say so in subsequent videos. So anyway, that's it for the... Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. A hose, okay? A hose that goes from the regulator into the bottom of the airbrush to power it. Okay, now I think I've covered everything you need, so I'll go on to the next video in which I'll discuss basically the construction of this airbrush and take it apart, because you're going to have to clean it at some point beyond just running some paint thinner through it to clean it out, but you'll have to take it apart and give it a thorough cleaning once in a while, so you may as well learn how to take this thing apart properly. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video.